Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
Yes, we're live.
I think, yes. Finally, we are live. Yes. Welcome, everybody, once again to another edition of our Positivity live stream. And, for me, I'm always excited when it's approaching Friday. Why? Because we want to be here with you to have this opportunity to have powerful and empowering conversation that not just inspire, but to impact you to do much more than you thought you could do. And you know how we do it. For us, the conversation, it's always centered around the foundation of positivity. And because today is the last Friday of the month, we are having a gratitude experience. So wherever you are joining us from all over the world, we say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and we sincerely appreciate you and thank you for being here with us. And kindly drop a comment so that we can shout you out. We can let the world know that you are here with us. Because one thing that we do, beyond just having a conversation, we also help amplify the voices of our community. Yeah, you making an impact. You have a message. You have a vision. You have a mission you are currently working on, and you want more people to hear about you, hear about what you do. Feel free, drop a comment so that we can shout you out. Or if you want to join us on stage, that's the link right there. Click on the link and put it on your browser. It will take you to the backstage where you can be able to join us on stage to share your thought, to share your insights, and be able to use your voice to inspire more people out there in the world. For us, this stream gets to reach thousands of people globally because we are streaming to YouTube, to LinkedIn, to Facebook, to Twitch at the moment, into different platforms because we believe that the more people that our message gets to reach, the more impact we will make, the more transformation we're going to have, and the more positive people we are going to get in the world. Our vision remains spreading positivity to every corners of the earth, 1 million person at a time, using the power of media. We live in a world where there's so much going on, so much negativity, so much news happening, people hearing a lot of things happening out there in the world. But to be able to be part of a community who do not just remind you, but teach you how to intentionally live the life of positivity in the midst of the so much negativity in the world, it's priceless. We all need positivity, sorry, because positivity is very, very important. That's why you always get me say, when you're positive, you are possible, and in positivity, there's always endless possibilities for you. So embracing positivity is not negotiable. It's something that's it's tangible and that can change your life and put you in a pathway where you are open to so much possibility. So welcome once again. We appreciate you. For those who don't know me, maybe you are joining us for the very first time. My name is Zion Inogero, your Mr. Positive Energy. I'm a positivity coach and mentor. I help people embrace the power of positivity intentionally, and I also host online events just like this. So for anyone out there, you want to reach out to more people, you want to stay visible and put yourself in a place where people get to see you, trust you, and collaborate with you, feel free, reach out to me. Let's hold an event for you so that we can be able to reach out to more people and make more impact. And as you know, I'm not alone on stage. I already have my co-host and King Mr. Annie, who is with me here right now. I know King Jimmy might be on his way coming. We have Isa, we have Lydia, who join us to host this event every Friday. I'm going to pass the mic to Mr. Annie so he can introduce himself, tell us what he does and how he helps people daily. So Mr. Annie, the mic is yours.
Good evening, my friend. Good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Let me welcome some of my friends who are here. Mr. Curtis, the legends, thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you always. Mr. Obi, I see you as well. So welcome. And who also I see? I see. Oh, yeah. I see on my LinkedIn, not necessarily on the stream. Let me go to my page. So I see ZZ as well. Long time, ZZ. I haven't seen you for a long time, so I'm glad you're here. Yeah, it's been a hot minute, as we say, right? So thank you for joining us. Look, my friends, it's always a good day, but today is an especially good day. Actually, no, I guess I'll share my gratitude, what I'm grateful for, and what I'm excited about in good time. But to keep it simple, look, we help people who have unique solutions to get the visibility they need. Basically, will make you famous, right? Will make you famous through helping you write your book, publish your book, market your book, and make your book a number one bestseller. So we've got projects cooking right now, so I'm really excited. I think we're going to have a launch event on Monday, so you know, that's what's keeping me excited today. What keeping me working hard as well, right? Liana, welcome, welcome. So good to see you. So as always, thank you so much for joining us. Look, my friends, if I can help you to write your book and make your book dreams come true, there's many more things we can do after that to help you sell books. And I said my aim to try and get my authors to sell 5,000 books each at least. So there's we'll do that through TV, we'll do that through events like this. We'll do that through the collaborations, as Mrs. Z mentioned earlier. Get talking to working with the right people who can elevate you, who you can support in their work as well. I could talk all day about what I do for a living, but I'll leave that for now. Let's pass the mic to our superstar friend who's just joined us. Mr. Jamie, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. How are you, Annie? How are you, Zion? How are we both doing?
Life is good. Life is blessed, right? Life is always good. Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Yes. Well, thank you for passing it over to me. I'm excited today for our gratitude call and just kind of looking at some of the comments here. I don't know if we shouted them out already, but good to see people are participating. And seems like everybody's talking about Happy Friday and
Mm.
all the stuff here. Hello from Florida. Christy, good to see you. As always, thanks for being here. So let me introduce myself here. My name is Jamie Edwards. I am in the United States. I'm in the Midwest, right outside of Chicago, Illinois, about an hour away from the big city. And what I do is I help people get their life back on track when it comes to getting employed and finding their new job, their new opportunity. I am a career coach. As you can see on my screen, I'm a career coach, and I have my own company called Jam Sessions with Jamie. I help people with different parts of their job search, everything from writing resumes to helping them with interview practice, helping them with making their LinkedIn profile stand out so they can get more opportunities and get more recruiters and hiring managers to find them easier. I love what I do. It's been a tough job market now for a little bit, actually, ever since COVID. It's been very tough. People getting laid off left and right, AI taking over some people's jobs, unfortunately, people leaving their workplace because of a toxic environment. And there's just so many people out there looking for opportunities, and it's very hard to be able to stand out in today's market. So that's really where I come in is, I write resumes for people from scratch so they can get noticed and they can get more interviews. I help them with the interview process so they can answer certain questions the way that recruiters want them to answer those questions. So we practice back and forth on answering all sorts of different questions, like tell me about yourself and, why do you want to work for our company and how to get the salary you want to get, right? So I help people with all that. And then I also help, like I said, with LinkedIn profile, making sure people's banners look good, their headlines, their content creation strategy, just really making them stand out and making them get more people to follow them and connect with them. So that's a little bit about me. Like I said, I've been doing this for over, about 3.5 years now, a little bit right around there. I love what I do. It gives me great joy to get people, hired and back to working again. into the workplace, just like as it gets, people, just like it gives any great pleasure when he can write books for people, right? And get them a book published and get it out there. We all take pride in these things that we do. And I love what I do every single day, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So excited to talk about our gratitude experience today for August. And I'm going to pass it over to back over to Zion.
Yes. I don't know, my mic was not muting itself. Thank you so much, King Jimmy, for the powerful introduction and all the amazing guests who are joining us in the building. Keep dropping the comment, tell us where you are joining us from so that we can be able to shout you out in the course of the conversation. Yes, indeed, today is our gratitude experience. And the reason why we do this at the last Friday of every month is because sometimes the month can get so busy. A whole lot can happen during the course of the month. Sometimes we might be achieving, sometimes we might not be achieving the things that we want to, but just having that space to remind you to take a pause and look inward to appreciate the blessings in your life, it's priceless. Sometimes it can be so overwhelming when you're trying to get to a certain level and it's looking at see if you're not getting there. You're trying to achieve a certain goal, it's looking at if it's not happening, or maybe it's your health, it's your relationship. Life can be so overwhelming sometimes. But this event that happens every last Friday, the gratitude experience, is to remind us of the fact that, of course, we do not deny the fact that these things are happening in your life. But in the midst of the difficulties, in the midst of the challenges, in the midst of the tough times, there are still things that you can be grateful for. We take out this time to invite people to come up on stage to share their gratitude experience. Why? Because my gratitude might not be your gratitude. What I'm grateful for might not be what the next person is grateful for. But the ability for each and every one of us to be able to use our voice to inspire more people to see the reason why they need to be grateful in their life, it's very, very important. For me, I believe that what you have to say has the power to encourage somebody. It has the power to motivate someone out there. It has the power to give somebody hope, to keep living, to say, you know what, if any can go through this and he's still grateful, he's still thankful, he's still excited, he's still joyful. Oh, I think I need to, remind myself of the need of gratitude. Because gratitude in this time, for me, it's not negotiable. One of the things that can put you in a place that can always put your mind in the place where you are very positive and optimistic is the ability for you to be grateful for the journey. Most times we forget about the most important things in our life. That's why for me, I wrote out some of the things I'm grateful for because I'm always very intentional about gratitude. I don't just come and just share gratitude. I think about it, I brood over it, I brainstorm on it. I put myself in that place where I'm very, very intentional about gratitude. And I will tell you, one of the things I'm grateful for today is the gift of life. For the fact that I'm alive today, I'm here with you. In fact, for me, it's one of the greatest achievements. I read it somewhere, say one of the greatest achievements of our everyday is the fact that we are alive. Yes, most of the times we take it for granted. Why? Because we are so used to sleeping and waking up, and we think, oh, it's normal. It's not something to be grateful for. But in my journey of life, sorry, in my journey of life, I've seen people come and go. I've seen people live and die. I've experienced it firsthand, and it just dawned on me every day that wow, being alive every day is a gift that is priceless. It's a gift that we do not talk about often as we should. So for me, I'm grateful for being alive. To be able to see another day, another Friday, I saw January, February, March. Now I'm seeing August, the end of August, and definitely I'm going to see September, October, November, December, and see many more years. So for me, I'm grateful for the gift of life. To just being alive, to be able to breathe in the air, the oxygen, for me, it's priceless. And also, beyond just being alive, I'm grateful for good earth. It's one thing to also be alive and then you might not feel healthy. But for me, I'm alive and I'm healthy. I can move my hands freely, I can move my neck freely, I can blink my eyes freely, without having to feel pains and discomfort. For me, it's priceless. Why? Because oftentimes I take our time to visit the hospitals, and then when you get to, you see different people with different pains, But for me, it just reminds me of the need to be grateful. Sometimes, moving our hands up, down, sideways, as easy as it seems, there are many persons who cannot do that. There are many persons who find difficulties to move their body or move their hands around. So for me, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for Earth. You know, my lungs are working well, my kidneys is working well, my heart is working well, my lungs is working well. I can breathe, I can see, I can hear, I can eat good food and taste the food so yummy. For me, it's just so amazing because I've seen people who have lost their taste bud. No matter how good the food is, they cannot taste the food. Why? Because they don't have that ability to taste food. But for me, I have the ability to taste food, as sweet as it is. So for me, it's something I'm really, really grateful for. And another thing I'm grateful for is I'm grateful for family and loved ones. It's so amazing the kind of family that this LinkedIn community can bring to you. I remember when I came online newly, for it can be the same for most of us. We might not know people that much, but because we have been building a community, we have had friends, strangers who turn friends, and from friends who have become family, people who are out there to encourage you, to support you, to motivate you, and to just push you to do far beyond what I thought I could do. For me, it's been an amazing journey. So for me today, I'm just so grateful for family and friends. Yes, Laven is in the building. Laven, thank you so much, for being here. We appreciate you. Laven is somebody that we have conversation week in, week out. And it's just not just for our, the ability to have any Damien and, some amazing persons in my cycle. It's just priceless. Having loved ones, people to call you and say, "Hey Zion, how are you? I just wanted to check up on you." Or send a text and say, "Oh Zion, how are you doing? How's been your week?" For me, when I receive that, it just shows how much I'm loved. It shows how much I'm supported. For me, I do not take it for granted. That's why I love it. And I just want to use this opportunity to appreciate everyone out there, family and friends alike, who have been a backbone, who have been a beacon of light and support in my journey. I really want to say a big thank you. Why? Because your immense support has pushed me to become a better person and has pushed me to keep evolving day in, day out. And fourthly, what I'm grateful for is peace of mind. Sometimes you might not know how much or how valuable peace is until you experience it. It's so priceless. I was talking to Mr. Annie behind the scene before the event came in, and we're just talking about a lot of things happening in the economy, especially in Nigeria, and then the need for me to choose gratitude. During the course of the event, I just understood, well, Nigeria might be going through XYZ, but then when it comes to natural disaster, when it comes to war, it's not here where I live. So for me, having that peace of mind, the fact that I can sleep at night and I'm not worrying about somebody's going to point a gun at me, somebody's maybe land is sliding or flood is coming. It's just something I'm really, really grateful for. In the midst of the challenges in life, in the midst of the difficult things, just having that peace, that serenity, to just know, well, it's gonna be well, it's gonna be okay, and everything is gonna be all right. And lastly, I'm grateful for provision. Provision in a sense that I have bed to lay down, I have clothes to wear, I have roof over my head, I have food on my table. For me, it's something I'm grateful for. I do not take it for granted. Sometimes because we get so used to, having clothes to wear, roof over our head, you just see that, we don't pay attention to it. But then I've watched the news, I've seen people living on the streets, people not having food to eat, people eating from the dustbin, people don't having clothes to wear. And then I have clothes to wear, I have food to eat, cooked food, good food, and I have roof over my head, I have a bed to lay on. Man, it's just priceless. And for me, it just puts me in that place where, yes, I might not have everything I want to have, but what I have I choose to be grateful. I know I said lastly, but I had to say this. One thing I'm grateful for is I'm grateful for being a Christian, for being a believer, for trusting God and loving God. I'm very excited because I'm not ashamed of my faith, and I'm proud to say I'm a believer. And for me, having God in my life has been a major factor that has helped me to be where I am today. So a big shout out to everyone out there who is also a believer like me, is a Christian, who is holding steadfast onto their faith, who is trusting God, who is believing God, who is holding on to God. For me, the God factor is the most important factor in my life. And having God simply means I have everything. And I'm using this opportunity to say I'm grateful for the fact that I know God, I have God, and I trust God. So for me, those are the things I'm grateful for in the month of August. To be honest, I can go on and on and on and on and on. But then we have to give more persons the opportunity to share, because the event is not just about me, it's about us. The ability for us to share those things that we are grateful for. It's what this event is all about. And I use this opportunity to welcome everyone again. Feel free, join us on stage, be part of the conversation. Come and tell us, what are you grateful for in the month of August? And with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic to Mr. Amy so he can share with us the things that he's grateful for the month.
Oh, for sure. I think being grateful is something that I guess we benefit from doing every day. It is our way of telling our God that we want more of the good stuff, right? That's the way I look at it. So, welcome, Linda. How are you doing? So glad to have you here. If I haven't mentioned, I thought I mentioned you already. Miss Levin, Mrs. Z just mentioned you. There's Emma on Twitch. That's one of your friends. Miss Levin says, "I love this topic. We'll never be too grateful because there's always something new to be grateful for." I agree with that, my friend. I agree with that. Gratitude is what moves us forward, my friends, and it's what brings joy to our. It's when we acknowledge what brings joy to our hearts. And so you mentioned peace of mind, Mrs. Z, and truly peace, as Ms. Laverne says, peace is priceless. It's that state of just being, right? It's that state of just being, being happy to be yourself, just being happy to live the life you live, and looking forward to more good things in life. For me, I see you as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, happy Friday to you too. Look, in August has been an amazing month. I guess there's many ways of looking at it. So we are halfway through the year. I remember saying, I think probably in December, end of last year, that all the things that we want to do this year, if we haven't started already, if we haven't started by end of February, it's not going to happen. And look where we are, right? Now we're making plans for next year, 2027. It's almost as if our time is promised. It's not. Mrs. Z said it many times, right? Like every day, people's time runs out. And we haven't got forever. If you've got big dreams, then if you've got things that you want to do, your intentions, do them now. Do them now. And I'm grateful for the chance to do what I need to do today. Something that moves me forward. Tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is a day that many people don't see. So I was on a show the other day, and I think we were most shocked because it's a calling show. Stanley Green's Positivity, Stanley Green's Power Thinking Live, right? And someone came on and said, right, unfortunately, sadly, one of our members just passed away. Literally was just woke up doing what they do a day. Did a Bible study, in the church, and then got back home. Yeah, went down to the basement, and his wife found him there later on. It just brings to the front of mind the fact that our time is now. This time is the present. And I truly embrace that reality. And that's the reason it's called a present, because it's a gift. Let's learn to use it. Essentially, I think I try to use now rather than saying I'll do it later. There's no later. There might not be a later, right? That's something that's a reality of life. Look, like saying it's been a good August, and I mean, one of the great things I'm really grateful for is I got to go on holiday for the first time in God knows how many years. And I really, that's for many years. I used to go on holiday every year. No, I like to go to the Caribbean, the Dominican Republic, for my holidays because I can relax. I have peace, Mrs. E. I have peace, total peace, right? Food, drink, all the good things, and see all the good things in life, right? So it was nice to take the family and go and spend 8 days, in paradise, and I truly. I truly, I loved it. Of course we do. Of course we do. So our son is older now, so it's a different experience. As our kids get as kids get older. From when he's been going for years, but literally, when you're 17, it's a whole different thing. I mean, first of all, he got to drive a golf cart around the resort, for example, right? Which kind of it's a good thing, given that he's doing his driving lessons as we speak. So it's little things in life that make you happy, right? And I generally say it's good. It's good to have a holiday. It's good to have a break. It's good to come back refreshed and then ready to go again. Thankfully, so all of that, so the work has picked up again, and that truly gives me joy. So I'm grateful for the people I get to meet. I've met a few people this month who I guess to me feels like moving forward. It really does. And I think that we spend time in circles of people. Friends that we have, the networks that we have, the connections that we make, and the people we get to have coffee chats with, one-to-ones with, right? And so I met a couple of people who they've got a different network, different community. And I think that one of them is Deborah Eckerlin. Since she does shows on here, but no. So I'm looking forward to what she calls her mixer. So she brings people together. And it just feels like getting to know a whole new group of people. I think we benefit from just building with intention. Meeting more people, meeting more of the right people, meeting more different people. People. I guess for me, people in the book world, the publishing world. But let's not. I try not to to stay still. I think we have to keep moving forward. Gratitude, really, grateful that we can. Look, all of this leads to my next book. I think I've got 3 books. I'm going to publish in September. Well, 31st of August is the first one, right? Monday. I would love for all of you to come and buy my client's book. There's Dr. Noella. Her book is the CEO with no experience. I think the courage to start, the power to sustain. I tell you, getting closer, right? So and that's what the book's about, really. So if you have a big idea, then this book will show you the steps that she's gone through to find the courage to start, and the ability to carry on her mission to serve the people in the community, in Cameroon and around the world. Look, I would love for you to come and buy the book, please. $1.99 it costs. Let's make Dr. Noella a #1 Amazon bestseller. That's my aim. Now, if we do, then you hear me talking about my gratitude for you supporting her book. There'll be a chance I'm going to send you all a DM anyway, saying please buy the book. But no, that DM will come on Monday. If you can, please support. If you know anyone who can benefit from being inspired, then obviously the book might help them. Buy the book, right? Look, I'm always grateful for, the family relationships that I get to enjoy. So, it's what we work for, right? We worked, for our family to have a decent life. So, it's only right that we enjoy those good relationships. There's no point working hard all day and then not talking or enjoying time with your family and friends, right? So let's make sure that we make time. I think that's part of being grateful. You make time for those you love. And everyone benefits. Laverne, thank you so much. Laverne says, please send me the link. And I certainly will, Laverne. I'm going to send you on WhatsApp and on here, Laverne. Because it's you. And of course, Laverne is an amazing author herself. And she's multi-time #1 bestseller as well. So, look, I could talk all day about what I'm grateful for, because I really believe gratitude is something it's something I practice every day. I literally thank God every day, and I thank God openly. It's not, oh, let me think I'm grateful. No. And I say thank you for this that has happened. Thank you for the life I get to live. Thank you for the work I get to do. Thank you for the blessings I have every day, right? Because I truly believe that's how I'm going to get more blessings tomorrow. Anyway, I've talked enough. Let's hear from King Jamie. Let's hear your gratitude experience for this month, my friend.
I love it. Thanks, Annie. Yes, I love it. You're thankful for the blessings you have today because they could bring more blessings the next day, right? And I think that's so important to think about. And I love this is one of the things before I even talk about what I'm grateful for, in the month of August is this the people that come to this group that we do, in this positivity call. And it's just great to see everybody, everyone's so supportive of each other, right? And wanting to contribute in certain ways and wanting to be a part of this big group. And I love it. And that's why I really appreciate comments like Laverne's asking for that link, because she wants to support other people in their book. And that's what this is all about, is bringing that positivity and that support for everything we do. And I appreciate that. And thanks again, Laverne, for offering your support right there. That's great. So let's talk about, gratitude for August, right? I mean, it's it's crazy to think we're only 4 months away from the end of the year. We're 2/3 of the year done already, right? It's just flown by. And there's just so much I could sit here and talk on, and this could go the rest of the call for what I'm grateful for, right? But I'll just talk for a few minutes here, because I know we might have some people here on stage that want to come on and share what they're grateful for. But first and foremost, like I start off all these gratitude calls, right? I'm just grateful for being here, right? Being alive, being in the moment, being able to wake up in the morning, put my 2 feet on the ground, being able to wake up and open my eyes and breathe in the air and look outside and see the beautiful weather. And, I'm just grateful for my health and for being here. So, and for God allowing me to be here, right? So I'm truly grateful for that. We talk about health, right? So important, right? Grateful to be able to do things and be able to move around and be able to walk around and just take it all in, right? I never, health is wealth. I never take that for granted. So I'm really grateful for that. I am grateful for all those loved ones in my life who support me, who are there for me, right? Everyone from my partner, Erica, to my beautiful daughter, Olivia, who's, just recently turned 6 a couple months ago, to my family members, my 2 brothers, my 2 sisters, my mom, my family, my friends that I have in my life. I mean, to be able to rely on them and talk to them whenever I need them, and for them to be in my life. I've learned over the years that it's not about how big my circle is, right? I have a small circle now. I've learned that having a small circle of people who are together in that circle and who I know who are truly there for me goes a long way than having a big circle of just acquaintances who maybe I just talk to once in a while and who maybe are not really a friend of mine, but they're just an acquaintance. So I'm grateful for that small group that I have of my family and my friends. Mike just sent a comment here really quick, talking about how he's grateful to have the skill and desire as a songwriter to create a tribute for Dolly Parton. Yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to check that out later. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Just recently passed away, right? So that's awesome, Mike. I'm grateful for that. Yeah, you do have the skill and desire. You're always writing songs and things like that. So appreciate you sharing that. Talk about other things I'm grateful for, right? I'm grateful for those who put trust in me to be able to help them with their job search, right? And he talks about his books and the people who, obviously, put their trust in him to write books, right? I'm grateful for those who put trust in me to help them with their job search, right? There's a lot of different career coaches out there and a lot of people who can help with job search. And for those to have me be the one who helped them out, whether it's resumes, interviews, LinkedIn, I never take that for great. I never take that for granted, because I know there's a lot of options out there, and I'm appreciative of those who understand that I'm trying to get them in the right place, and they support me just as much as I support them. So I'm grateful for that too as well. I'm grateful for my brothers on this call, right? My unofficial brothers, right? Zion and Ennie, right? Those are my brothers. We've been doing this for a long time. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to be able to do this call with them every week. I'm grateful for those who've been part of our call in the past. Grateful for Lydia, who obviously hasn't been here in a little bit, but she always checks up on us and wants to see how we're doing. I know she'll be here soon to be doing our meditation sessions again. For Simona and Isa, right? Simona used to be our part of our call. She's no longer on it, but we still check in from time to time, and appreciative of her. Appreciative of Isa. She's been busy lately, but I know she always checks up on us too. So I'm appreciative for those who are part of this call and who are part of this family, right? And speaking of family, I'm grateful for everyone who joins this call every single week, right? There's people who are on here every single week. They spend hours a week joining this call, right? And then there's those people who maybe it's their first time and they're just finding us. Doesn't matter who they are, right? If they're part of this call and they've been on at least once, they're family on this call, right? So I'm definitely grateful to be able to have those people join this call, because without all of you, this call really doesn't happen, right? Then we're just kind of talking to ourselves. So I could go on and on, right, about everything here, but I think we've kind of gone over enough. I could talk about all these things I'm grateful for. I write these things down. But yeah, I'll pass it back over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, King Jimmy, for sharing your gratitude with us, the things you are grateful for. When you pay attention and you listen, it just blows us away. Why? Because it's what you are grateful for is very important, especially for people. And I love the fact of how you took our time to appreciate people who always join us on this call. And like you said, it's true. The call is what it is. Why? Because they are here, we are here, and together we are all here in this place. And for me, it's so amazing having people. Some persons have been joining us from the first time we started the call over 4 years ago now. Till now, they are still consistent. They are still showing up every day. Some persons who find out the time to come up on stage. For some people, they might be on their work right now. They're in the job station, or they might be driving, but they still tune in to listen to be part of the conversation. For us, it's priceless, and we truly, truly want to appreciate you. Um, Mr. Victor says, I'm grateful for the idea that God put in my head, and I'm grateful for my wife, Cynthia, and my son, Melvin. I'm grateful for God's grace and His mercy. I'm grateful for United Gates Integrated Services. A lot to be grateful for, gratitude and peace of mind always. Indeed, Mr. Victor, thank you so much for Dr. Victor, sorry, Dr. Victor, how to address it properly. That's a doctor in the house. For sharing with us what you are grateful for the idea God gave you, and also for your family. It's priceless, because for me, family is very, very important. Indeed, recognizing the fact that your idea was given to you by God, is so much we have to be grateful for. Some persons might not see it that way, but for the fact you share with us that, wow, I'm grateful for the idea that God gave to me, we also change people's perspective to let them know that, oh, so the idea I'm having right now is God that gave it to me. So thank you so much. We truly, truly appreciate you. Yes, Okuman says, an attitude of gratitude will attract others. Living love and living and loving others pay dividend well beyond the moment. Profoundly said. That's very true. An attitude of gratitude attracts more grateful people into your life. When you're a grateful person, automatically grateful people just flow in, are attracted to you. If I'm a grateful person, I don't want to be attracted to someone that is not grateful. It does not work. The connection is not there. There's no attraction, but you are only attracted to like-minded people. So if you're a person, you want to see more grateful persons in your life, you want to see more people who are thankful, be thankful. And because you are thankful, because you are grateful, it automatically attracts the same persons to your life. Uncle Mike also says, I'm grateful for the lessons learned of how where to expand my energy. Indeed, these are lessons. Being grateful for the lessons we learn in life. For most of us, life happens, but there are lessons to learn from every experiences we go through. And Uncle Mike is reminding us that, well, I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned on where and how to expand my energy. It's true. And there are some persons who are energy sappers. They take, and they take, and they take, and they take. And sometimes just being in that space can just drain you of the energy you have. But being around people who allow the energy goes around, because the more the energy goes around, the more impact it can make, the more each and every one of us is being energized. For me, it's very, very profound. Yes, Uncle Mike also says, I'm grateful to have the resources to repair our roof that is leaking and what damages as a result. Well, it's so amazing. And thank you so much, Okuma. That's why I love different perspective of gratitude. It just gives you a whole different picture of what people are truly grateful for. The resources to be able to repair your roof. That's a huge achievement, and that's a whole lot to be grateful for. That's amazing. The war damages as well. Thank you, Uncle Mike, for reminding us of the need for us to be able to do that. Yes, and Linda is saying, I'm grateful to have had a wonderful, supportive team help me and other 19 co-authors to bring our voices together. Our book is now a #1 international bestseller. Oh, Linda, big congratulations. That's amazing. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing your gratitude with us. Indeed, having a supportive team, having people around you to make our dream come true, it's so amazing. And congratulations to you and the other 19 co-authors. Fumi Bacon Mama is saying, I'm grateful for the growth in my online academy. Amazing. Having new clients sign up was a prayer point I had, but now it's starting to become a reality. I'm grateful. Wow. Another perspective too. You have new clients. Being grateful for that. That's so amazing. Some of us will pray for things like this, but when it happens, we just think it's normal. We just go over it. But then being intentional and knowing for the fact that these things doesn't just happen by chance. There is need for us to be grateful for things like that. It's so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yes, I think Uncle Mike, okay, Uncle Mike said something else again. Said, I'm grateful for the ability, the energy, and earth to have completed patching and petting our front porch. Yes, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of resources, and it takes a lot of hurt, to be able to do things like this. So, Uncle Mike, thank you so much. To be honest, there are millions of reasons for us to be grateful. And if there's one thing I've learned about gratitude is gratitude helps us change our perspective. So instead of dwelling and focusing on what you are lacking or focusing on what you are not having, gratitude helps you focus your attention on what you have, on the blessings you have right at hand. So it just helps you change your perspective. Instead of thinking about lack, you are thinking about the abundance as you already have. You are thinking about the blessings, you're thinking about the achievement, you're thinking about the milestones, you're thinking about the plus that are in your life. It just help you change your perspective. It just help you change the way you see things. It just help you focus your energy to the blessings you have. So for me, that's why I love gratitude the Lord, because it just changed my perspective. Of course, we do not deny the fact that there is things to be done, but also we should not also deny the fact that there are things you have already done already. So instead of allowing your energy to be roaming about and being worried, being overwhelmed by what has not yet been, Focus your energy and celebrate what have been, what you have, what is already here. And one thing for me that gratitude has also helped me, gratitude just brings contentment. Contentment. Wow. It teaches you to just appreciate where you are, what you have, even though you are still pursuing the things you are pursuing. It just puts you where you are content. You are not comparing yourself with people. You are not, oh, I wish I want to. No. It just puts you in that place where you are content with who you are. Nothing more, nothing less. As much as you are still pursuing the goals, you are still pursuing the things you need to, but what you have, you are content. You are not worried for the fact, oh, my neighbor is doing this or my friend is doing this. No, you are content with you and with who you are. So for me, gratitude has really taught me a whole lot when it comes to life, just to be able to, change my perspective, shift my focus from lack into abundance, from what is not to what is already here. And it just puts me where I'm very excited and joyful. Many persons will ask me, Zion, you're always happy, you're always smiling, you're always joyful. Yes, it is because for me, gratitude is one of the foundational habits in my life. So instead of worrying about what is not happening, I'm grateful for what has happened. Instead of worrying about not having 10,000 clients, I'm grateful for having one client. I'm grateful for having two clients. So it just really changed my perspective and puts me in a place where I'm truly, truly content and see the beauty about life. Contentment helps you to see the beauty about life, help you to see the beauty in your life, helps you to see the amazing things happening in our life. So for me, gratitude, it's so powerful. I'm very excited that more persons are coming in to share in their gratitude. Feel free, keep dropping the comments. And if you want to join us on stage, the link is there. Click on the link and you'll be able to come up on stage. Yes, Uncle Mike said something like he said, I'm grateful for waking up this morning and being able to bring my presence to this show. Indeed. Thank you so much, Uncle Mike. Your presence makes the show what it is. For the fact that every one of you is here, it makes the show what it is. You bring the energy, you bring the perspective, you share your story, you bring your thoughts, you bring your insights. Is what makes the show what it is, and we appreciate you so much. That's the reason why we take out the time to shout you out, to call out your name, just to let you know that we see you, we know you, we appreciate you, and we value the fact that you are here with us. He said, with intention, positivity, and above all, love from our Creator, I have the privilege and joy of passing to all. Yeah, yes. The ability for us to use our voice to inspire other people, to encourage them, to support them, to share our gratitude. It's something that we need to be grateful for. It's so amazing. Thank you so much, Uncle Mike. We appreciate you and we celebrate you as well. So, Mr. Annie, I just want to throw this question for us. As we round up the show, it's for most of us, they might feel or they think, oh, these people are grateful because everything is figured out for them, everything is going well, everything is sorted out. They don't have anything to worry about. So my question is, why gratitude for you? So I
Yeah,
think I'll just pass the mic to Mr. King Jamie.
yeah,
Like, why
no,
gratitude?
no, a great point, a great question as well. Welcome, Uncle Mike, as we call you now, right? Welcome. We'll come to you in a second, my friend. Look, yeah, I think you said it earlier, Mrs. Z. I think when we're going through life, right? We think many things, and sadly, we normally think negative things.
Mm,
Oh, I have to do my book launch, or I have to do this, I have to do that, right? Oh, Mr. Also, Uncle Mike mentioned it in a version of it earlier. Okay, my roof is leaking. Damn, terrible, right? But I think gratitude is a reframe. Rather than thinking, oh, that's gone wrong. Oh, how terrible is that? If you say to yourself, I get to do that thing, I get to do something magical, like Uncle Mike, he gets to decorate, he gets to renew his roof and decorate his house, right? And stop the leak and make the house better than it was. I say, it changes your spirit in a moment.
mm,
So, and I say many people who've spoken today in the comments, you can see, they're not, Fumin is not saying starting my company was easy. She's saying I'm grateful. Actually, I've got to do it, and I've done it. Right. I think just in at any moment in our day, having gratitude and genuinely feeling it, so is what that's one new thing. Feeling it, really feeling it. Right. It changes your mood. It changes, your energy. It changes everything about life. From that moment on. That's why I say I'm more than happy to literally, during the course of my day, I was just saying, I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for what I get to do. I'm grateful for everything that's happening. Even the things that look hard, the things that look difficult. Now, gratitude gives us the perspective to learn from them. To build from them. Now, yes, that went wrong, but I'm grateful now that God's given me a chance to learn properly how to do that thing. They say this is just a reframe, like you said earlier, Mrs. Z, right? And that reframe puts us on a different trajectory, different path. The
Mhm.
path to be able to do stuff, to actually be able to do things, the hard things in life, right? Because it is a chance to learn. It is a chance to reframe to think again
Yes.
what you thought you were going to do, and a chance to learn new skills, a chance to, and a chance to impact other people's lives. I really believe in sharing gratitude, because if you share your gratitude, you raise the energy in the room. You make other people
Mhm.
feel better, right?
Yes.
And then when they start looking at their life and saying, "I'm grateful for," they are happier. Every night, life just works better that way, right? What's the
True.
alternative? Oh, life is terrible. Oh, let's go into misery together, shall we? Let's not do that. There's no joy in that whatsoever, right? The joy is, is when we are able to, energize people, make people happy, bring a smile to people's faces, and make life, a better place for everyone. I've talked way, way too much. Uncle Mike, welcome today, my friend. Welcome to you. How are you?
I am grateful, well, for many things, but I have to say that I'm grateful for this show and the three of you, putting it on weekly, um, and just, having the opportunity to really take a moment, because I think, life gets busy, life gets crazy, and if like, I think we should all start in the morning with a gratitude list, because I think it helps you, to your point, Annie, reframe the day, um in gratitude. And just going through the brief list that I shared, it's a big deal to be able to repair that roof because it was leaking for quite a bit of period of time, and then to have the wall fixed because we have a plaster and lath. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but to the bottom of our the half of our house is plaster and lath, and this whole wall had kind of buckled because of the rain over the year. So just being able to have the resources to do that, and then there's a downstream effect too, gentlemen, that we don't always talk about is we were able to employ the people that do both the fixing the roof and the wall, because my wife didn't want me up on the roof, my lovely wife. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And then I was very sad at the passing of Dolly Parton. She to me really epitomized, positivity and lifting other people up. So that's a big loss for us. But I love doing these tributes because it's a way to express our admiration and gratitude for their legacy, and her legacy will live on because she has a nonprofit that gives books away for children, and she's done a ton of other stuff. So it's just I just want to celebrate her. While we grieve her loss, I just want to celebrate her. And then, the other thing that I mentioned is I am grateful to be able to, come on the show or even in the comments section and just express, I'm grateful to be alive, but I'm grateful to be here and be able to support you all and show love, however God chose me to do that. So thank you.
you, my friend. Thank you. I mean that sincerely, Mark. Thank you for always, gracing us, with your insights, and with your wisdom, right? It is, our shows depend on someone, on people like you coming to share with us. It gives us a different perspective, and for that, we're forever grateful, my friend. How much I adore you and what you do. So thank you. And so we'd love to hear your song. I don't know whether you can play it. I don't know. If you can't play it, no problem. You can share the link in the comments. I'm sure we'll go along to it, to go and listen to it as well. So I love people who are on different platforms because LinkedIn says you must have your name. I think my eyesight's not as good. I'm on the MacBook, so I'm literally contented swivel face PR, something like that. Good luck with that. I tried. If I've missed a few letters, I know there's a P in there somewhere, right? And at the end, I can't make sense of what's at the end, right? I said that, but literally, look, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you giving us your time.
Yeah.
I see the congratulations to Linda as well. It is a huge achievement. Obi says, congratulations to you, Linda. So being a number one bestseller, it means something. Those who don't get it might say, "Oh, it doesn't, it doesn't matter." It matters. It matters, right? It matters because we write books and publish books to help other people, and being a number one bestseller in the book itself in the first place, means that more people get to see the book because it has high rankings, right? And of course, now have a name that that will live, that will live forever. You're forever a number one, best selling author, right? And when you get to write your books, that name will go before you, right? It will help your books to reach more people. I say Fumi says, congratulations as well. So well done, Linda. Enjoy the moment. Maybe that's our point today. Gratitude. Let's truly enjoy what we get to experience.
Mm.
Mrs. Z and I were talking earlier, and in the end, we just decided, look, stop complaining. These are first world problems. These are minor issues. But we think our pain, our struggle right now, our feeling right now, our feelings, and that's more the point, right? Is just the most important thing. No. There's a greater thing here. There's a greater picture that's going on, right? I say we're here, we're learning, we're building, we're growing. And for all of that, we have to be truly grateful. Uncle Mike, I think, look, every morning, my morning starts with gratitude, then meditation. Like I said, I think we really need to start feeling gratitude, feeling positivity. This is not, this is not just words. This is not just feelings in terms of,
Mm.
oh, I want to be happy. Truly feel it in your soul. Feel it. When we do, our life changes. As Mike said, we design our day to be good when we have gratitude. We literally create more grateful moments, more good moments, right? But unless we learn to feel it, which is where Mr. Z comes in as our positivity coach, we need to really get, when what we really think, what we feel becomes our lived experience. Think of that for a second, right? And if you're truly grateful, if you can see the good in everything that happens to you, then more good things happen.
Yeah.
That's my take, Uncle Mike. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Of course, Dolly was all about kindness and love, as you put in your comment earlier, right?
Well, Annie, I think we have to go a little bit beyond. I don't know if people know the word grok. Uh, not in the Elon Musk sense, but there's a book called Stranger in a Strange Land. And grok basically means to almost, there's this concept of like eating,
Mm,
meaning that you eat so it's more than just a feeling.
mm,
It becomes down to your soul. And I think
exactly.
once it gets there, it will explode in your life. And I really encourage people not to wait until you have a triple quadruple bypass to really get this idea, because we do not know what tomorrow brings. And the really the morning of the surgery, because for those that don't know, open heart surgery is relatively complex and dangerous. So I'm not saying that there was a possibility of death. I don't know, but obviously when I woke up and I saw my lovely wife, all attached to all of these drips and things as I came out of surgery, I can't tell you. I mean, that whole, I don't know, there was a period of probably about a week or so. And I had a bunch of people, in fact, that I had been estranged from, reach out to me. And it just woke me up to the fact that we really need to be, more um, cognizant of the how the fragility of life, right? And that we need to be grateful. I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention before, is I think we will be amazed at the opportunities for gratitude that are available to us if we pay attention. And this all came into my my view. I took part in it was called a kindness activation globally, and so it's the same thing as kindness. I think when we look for opportunities to be kind, they're
Mm.
literally all over the place.
Oh,
But
yeah.
because we get wrapped up in day to day life and business and whatever, we can miss them. And it can be something as simple, like I shared. Um, something as simple as letting someone ahead of you go into the store, or I was actually in the store and someone was wanting to go down an aisle, and I mean, you could go, well, it's a big deal. It's like, well, it is a big deal when other people don't do that and they're rushing around, or to let a car in when you don't necessarily need to. um, but there's other things. I just think we'll be amazed at how many opportunities for kindness and gratitude.
I love that, my friend. I truly love that. I mean, I drive every day and think, I think just uttering the words "thank you" and no and meaning it meaning it in your soul, meaning it genuinely, it makes all the difference, right? Suddenly, you haven't got time to be angry. You haven't got time to be frustrated. You haven't got time to be stressed. Just by truly thinking, no, thank you for letting me go. That's how we brighten people's day, right, Uncle Mike, for sure, right? So I'll give the mic to you, or Jamie in a second, Mrs. Z. I just want to say this, right? Look, life happens, and life happens for a reason. I think we need to learn that the things we experience are for a reason. Yes, what you wanted to happen just now didn't happen. But like I say, it's more. What if it's God's way of saying to you, there's more you need to learn. Yes, that person let you down. What if God's saying to you, you need to build that relationship at the core? You know what I'm saying? Everything can be seen another way if we choose to reframe from I guess a spirit of gratitude. Everything is a positive. Well, as you just said, Uncle Mark, we've got a million and one things to be grateful for. Yes, my team lost, in football last week, but so then we learned to get better. We bought more players as well, right? I'm saying gratitude, everything can be reframed into a positive if you truly put your heart to it, and when you do, the hardships of life suddenly melt away. It really becomes a good thing that we get to experience those moments. Mr. Jamie, you've been quiet way too long, my friend. Please share with us before we close the show.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, I mean, we've had a lot of good stuff to talk about today.
Mm.
Gratitude experience is always one of those calls that just brings it all full circle, right? Talks about the things that we're not really wishing that we have, but grateful for the things that we already do have, right? I think that's important and a blessing we should always remember every single day, right? It's not about saying, well, I wish I had this, I wish I had this. I mean, it's little things like just being here, being able to share these moments, right? Being able to talk about these things and just realize that tomorrow's not promised, right? but today, and you live in the now, and you do things that are, that are happening the day of, that's what you got to live for. Live for the moment, take in the experiences. Don't think about what's going to happen a week from now, what's going to happen a month from now, right? Enjoy what's around you. Take time, smell the roses, right? They don't just say that. That's not just a saying. It goes by when you say take time to smell the roses, just stop and don't think that things have to come, things have to run 120% full blast, right? Like, oh, I got to do this, and this. Just breathe in what you have here. Take a step back sometimes. It's okay. Good things will come if you're patient, to those who wait, right? But just enjoy life to its fullest. So, I think we've talked about a lot of that today and talked about the things that we like. So, no, like I said, I just want to, I know Coach, I think Zion dropped off here. Maybe he was having internet issues, or he might come back here. But yeah, no, I just want to say thank you all for being on the call today. Thank you all for sharing the comments in the group. I mean, everybody talking about things they're grateful for, right? Fund Me said it. Mike was on here talking about things. Linda talked about things, right? It's just great. Victor, I'm just looking at some of the people on here who are leaving comments, and it's just, I love the participation, the fact that people are so involved, right? So, yeah, let's make it a good weekend here. Head into September with some great momentum. And once again, thank you all for being here.
Awesome, Jamie. Awesome, my friend. Look, like I said, Linda, we celebrate your success, and that's part of gratitude, right? Now, we truly celebrate, your achievement with your book. Celebrate you writing the book in the first place, writing your chapter in the book, and saying yes, I want to be part of this. And that's all good things come from saying yes, and all good things come from having that positivity that you can do this and make a difference to the world. Now, let's keep doing it, my friends. Look, we're back again next Friday with a different topic. So do join us then. So meanwhile, I will be in touch with most of you to beg, to plead with you, to encourage you to buy Dr. Noella's book, The CEO with No Experience. That if you, especially if you want to learn how to build a business from scratch without, the things that we think we're lacking, with the education, the training, the resources. It can be done. That's how gratitude mindset can truly move us forward. And if you do buy the book and will make Dr. Noella #1 bestseller, I'll be forever grateful. But you'll feel good too, I assure you. $1.99 for gratitude, Jamie. That's a reality, right? But my friends, enjoy your weekend. If we can help, like I said, do get in touch. And of course, Jamie, it's all about listening. If employment is an issue, finding a job is a problem. It's a challenging experience for you. Contacting Jamie, for me, it's about books. If you're writing your books, let's say publishing your books, selling your books, and selling your books beyond, just a handful of copies. So definitely let's talk. Of course, Mrs. Z is the one who helps you apply positivity in all you do. Like I say, it's all right talking about what we talk about on these topics. It's all right what others talk about positivity. But unless you truly learn how to feed it in your soul, again, Uncle Mike said it just now, right? See, the difference between most people is that we all know, but not many can actually apply it. Those who apply it see the difference. They see the results. If you're struggling with the results of positivity, then truly, contact Mr. Z and find a way that you can work with him to change your life. That's the only way I can say it, right? By applying this apparently simple principles. Gratitude is probably the biggest one of all. I'll say that for now, right? Okay, Jamie, look, enjoy your weekend, my friend. And thank you for all you do. Thank you for being great, my friends. Take care.
You too. Yeah. Take care, and have a good weekend, and we'll see you all next week. All right.
Indeed. If you're on our YouTube, please like today's video, comment on today's video, this video, in other words, and of course, subscribe to our channels if you're there, right? Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
See you later.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drama. She's success with Global.Media.com. And celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with Global.Media.